Also in your hometown newspapers, our buddy Nick Pistor. We've not had him on enough, and lots of things going on in the city, so we thought you'd bring him in to talk about a couple of different issues. Nick Pistor joins us via Skype. Good morning, Nick Pistor. Are you there?
I am here.
Good. All right. Let's get right to it. First of all, this music venue story is kind of interesting. Now we're hearing some people are trying to gather up signatures so that the city doesn't go into some type of long-term contract with this organization?
Yeah, you see some people in the city who are upset, particularly local musicians who have been working very hard for a long time, thinking that all of a sudden all these big-name artists, all these big companies are going to come in and push everybody out. So there is a bit of a grassroots effort to try to stop it. This bill it kind of came out of nowhere, has been pushed very quickly through the Board of Aldermen. They had a committee meeting last week. However, it was slowed down because at the last minute, lobbyists for Anheuser-Busch and the St. Louis Cardinals came in and had a conversation with most of these aldermen and got it pushed back at least a week because the folks putting on or wanting to put on the festival didn't run this by them first.
And so the argument, I mean, Rainford and the city saying, hey, this non-compete is only for some of these, other big giant venues. So these smaller community parties really shouldn't be affected. Why are people so up in arms over this?
Anytime you see change, people are going to be upset. People get used to the way the landscape is. So it, in some ways, makes St. Louis difficult. There's always someone who's going to be not particularly happy about something new. They are saying that these are for those large-scale concerts that nobody else is doing. So, those people probably wouldn't necessarily be affected. However, in other ways, they say they will be, as far as sponsorships, as far as media interest in what they're doing. Lou Fest, for example, is normally at the end of August, sometimes around Labor Day weekend. These concerts, one of them would be on Labor Day weekend. That may, be the marquee event in the city. If you have some big name artist playing downtown, that will push out pretty much anyone else.
That's a great point. All right, let's get to this other one. Cookie Thornton name will go down in history of St. Louis as the shooter in the Kirkwood City Hall. The story this week is that his son is running for some type of office in Kirkwood. I don't understand why this is such a big deal.
Well, it's not his son; it's his nephew.
I'm sorry.
And it's only a big. It's not a big deal, but it is an ironic type of story because you'll see several of the people still on the Kirkwood City Council were present when Cookie Thornton stormed in with a gun and shot the place up. He does bear a striking resemblance to his uncle. It could be a odd mental image for them to have if he were to get elected and become a councilman. He's a very intelligent man. I interviewed him. He's pushing hard. He obviously says his name has nothing to do with this. He does represent a lot of the issues that his uncle had pushed for a long time, particularly the racial tensions in Meacham Park in Kirkwood, trying to get more acceptance in the larger part of Kirkwood for that neighborhood.
Did he know his uncle well? Was he close to his uncle?
He did know him well. I don't know exactly how close they were, but they were around each other. He said quite frequently.
Yeah, all right. And then lastly, Lewis Reed, not happy that these VA jobs are leaving the city of St. Louis.
He's not, and I imagine many other people in St. Louis are not. He started a petition to get the White House to reconsider this. It'll take 100,000 signatures. Probably not going to happen. The Anheuser-Busch is trying to get 100,000 signatures to make opening day the national pastime, national holiday, and they're short on that. So I don't see that happening. However, it's probably a worthwhile effort considering downtown St. Louis needs jobs. It's losing them. It's getting more residents though, but these are about 800 jobs that are going to a consolidation effort out in St. Louis County with the National Personnel Records Center near it. Not probably the best thing for downtown, although I don't necessarily see a petition drive being enough to stop it. And the place where the VA jobs actually were downtown, it's not necessarily the best location. They're sort of tucked off away from downtown by Union Station.
Yeah. And then lastly, did you see this Baldwin City Council last night voted 7-1 to a resolution saying we don't want to join the city, so don't even ask us about merging the city and the county.
Yeah.
If you ask Baldwin, they're out.
Well, you see that in some of those communities out in St. Louis County that rabidly do not want to be a part of anything larger, and I think we'll see more of that. And it'll be interesting to see how everybody works around that, particularly the Better Together folks, which say they don't have a dog in this hunt, but clearly to be putting out proposals that
right. Let's go Cardinals, but we're not Cardinal fans. That's right. The name of the group, but we don't care who wins.
The first few reports they've put out have all been extremely positive about a merger.
But it's sort of a Baldwin's sort of in your face, right? I mean, that's sort of a we don't want to date you. We don't even want to go out on a date with you, no less marry you, City of St. Louis. So don't even ask us, right? I mean, that's a slap in the face.
I've never always really considered Baldwin as at the forefront of protest of people who really just don't want to do anything. But I think you'll see more of it. Like I said, I do think it is a conservative town, conservative area. So they may not be interested in this, but that doesn't mean that this won't happen.
Yeah. Nick Pistor with us via Skype. Is that your kitchen you're in, or where are you?
Yeah, I am in my kitchen.
It looks pretty nice, Nick.
Looks pretty nice.
Well,
Now, for those who are listening on the radio, you have a suit, you have a jacket on, you have a blue shirt on, you have a nice red power tie. Are you wearing pants?
I am. Yeah.
I knew you were going to ask that.
Are you wearing pajama pants, or are you wearing like jeans?
No. I'm wearing regular pants.
Okay. Do you want to show us, or do you
okay?
Just take
for goodness gracious.
This is not a fashion show.
The only thing that would have made this better is if you would have had a woman in a towel walk right behind you. That would have made it better.
I think it would have.
Nick Pistor from the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, STLTODAY.com. Nick, good to check in with you. Be good, and we'll talk to you down the road.
All right. Thank you very much.
You got it. Nick Pistor via Skype here on the Big 550 KTRS. I love the Skype. We're really getting into this Skype thing.
I know. I'm loving it, too.
You know what? It's good because he can see you. You can see him. For those who are listening on the radio, you can still get a sense of the interview, the conversation.
Right.
But it's good to talk to these guys
Yes.
and to be able to see them and have a conversation with them.
Having Nick in his kitchen in St. Louis, or having Casey Nolan in Sochi.
Right.
It's just amazing. Love it.
Yeah, and you coming from TV, you're used to kind of seeing the person you interview.
Yeah, but it's still cool to see someone,
Right.
via Skype.
Right, no, but it's still great information, and yet it's still sort of camaraderie and a sense of whatever. It's more conversational as well.
It is.
And we're all sort of getting used to it too. I mean,
Yeah.
it's really kind of new, but we're kind of settling into it, and the technology is unbelievable. I think there's only one time it's failed on us.
Clear as
a bell. He sounded great, looked great, and he was wearing pants.
he was wearing pants.
That's good to know. 7:30 here, Big 550 KTRS.
Target